So I just want to turn to China for a moment, just because that's where Binance started. Binance started in Shanghai, sort of saw the writing on the wall, moved internationally. You're still very much a celebrity in China. I've never been to like a Chinese blockchain gathering where your name has not come up. People are very much following you. So here's the question about China, because I think it's like kind of a larger philosophical question. There's sort of this ethos in crypto that no government can shut crypto down. And I totally believe that. That's true. There is still crypto trade in China. But there's no question that it's not what it once was, right? China was the center of the crypto world, the absolute center. And now it's like just not, right? I mean, I think we don't have really good data, but it's clear that the level of trade in China is not what it was a few years ago before the Chinese government cracked down. So I guess my question for you is like, how do you see the Chinese market? I mean, do you see it as coming back? Do you think, is it still going to be a player? Do you think the Chinese government will change its position? I know you don't have a crystal ball, but I'm just curious because it's such an important market. And again, you started there.
Sure. Yeah, I'm actually glad you brought this topic up. This is a common misconception, by a lot of people. Many people think Binance is a Chinese exchange, which is not. I'm Chinese by blood. Both of my parents are Chinese. I was born to two Chinese parents. I moved to Canada when I was 12. I've been a Canadian for 30 plus years. I don't hold a Chinese passport. I do speak Chinese, the language, and I have spent 10 years in my adult life in Shanghai, sort of doing business. So I do have a view there. So I want to get that out there very, very clearly. Like Binance itself is not a Chinese company at all. We're not affiliate. We're not affiliated with the Chinese government in any way. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around that. So I want to use this opportunity to clarify that to the extent I can. On the China market, and also I want to say that I'm a decent celebrity even in U.S. Crypto conferences, for example, even in consensus. So I don't want to be too arrogant, but I'm humbled that people do invite us. But I think Binance do have an influence globally. On China, I don't think the policies will change anytime soon. I think China's kind of fairly restrictive compared to like 10, 20 years ago as a business environment. There's a lot of talks about central planning, common prosperity. All of these things are things we tried in the 1970s that didn't work out so well. So I don't see that changing anytime soon because the Chinese leadership structure is set for life. So I don't think that will change anytime soon. So this is why I'm pessimistic. We put out of China 5 years ago. So and some of my friends were telling me that recently, like how did you see that 5 years ago that you guys just put out completely? So look, we kind of saw certain signs for it. So I don't think the bans on crypto exchanges, ICOs, and mining in China will be lifted anytime soon. But because of this, it doesn't mean that those activities completely stop. China has a history of things moving underground when there's regulation prevented. So I think there's still a lot of P2P trading. There's still a lot of mining going on. ICOs not so much, but a lot of talent moved to other parts of Asia, even in the US to do ICOs, etc. So people are very mobile these days. So in the blockchain, in our industry, you can work from anywhere. All you need is an internet connection. So we see a lot of that happening already. So I know a lot of people who moved to Southeast Asia, America, Europe. So yes, it's sad to see that's happening, but it didn't really stop Bitcoin mining. It had a little dent on Bitcoin mining, but Bitcoin mining hash rate is already at all-time high again. So we see that this kind of things doesn't affect the crypto industry that much.
But I guess just the sort of, and thank you for clarifying everything about China, but just the larger question here, though, is like in the crypto industry, there's a saying like, no government can stop Bitcoin, right? And it's true, as you just said, China did not stop Bitcoin. But I think they accomplished one of their goals, which is just making it a lot harder, right? It's a lot harder to access, crypto trade in China than it was before. And is that just something that concerns you just about government's powers to do that? Because it does seem that to some degree, China successfully just kind of like raised the threshold for getting into crypto.
So I think China is a pretty good case study for this. So China was successful doing this to the internet. So they blocked Facebook, Google, Twitter, all the external platforms, and they let the homegrown versions of it grow, and it was quite successful. There's Tencent, Alibaba, etc. And then in the crypto space, I think they're doing the same thing, or at least it looks like they're trying to do the same thing, which is block Bitcoin, make Bitcoin very hard to access, Ethereum very hard to access, block the centralized exchanges, and then push their central bank digital currency. But here, I think there are some fundamental differences between the central bank digital currencies to native cryptocurrencies in terms of limited supply, permission of transactions, and probably ease of use of fees. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm not sure exactly that strategy will work. It may not. I'm somewhat skeptical about that strategy, to be very frank. So we still see quite a bit of crypto activity in China, but now it's just very hidden. There's no way to collect data because the Chinese also blocked our website. So we don't see any Chinese IP addresses coming to our website. So the data is very hard to collect now.